wants to talk about the Pistons time.
Right.
Yesterday, the Detroit Pistons, they make a move. Actually, made a couple moves. They trade Fontecchio to Miami for Duncan Robinson and sign him to a 3-year deal worth $48 million. Now, this is kind of keeping the aesthetic of the University of Michigan. You get rid of Tim Hardaway, but you bring in Duncan Robinson, who also played with, you guessed it, Karis LeVert. We're getting our own little New York Knicks Villanova thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
100% I like that. I like the energy and what you play with. Duncan Robinson, what does this do for you? Because yesterday, if I remember correctly, you said this was going to happen on the show way before it did. What does this do for you? Talk about it.
You really just transitioned a 6'8" shooter into a 6'6" shooter in terms of Duncan Robinson. But you needed a true three-point specialist, losing Beasley. When you add in Karis LeVert, to me, Karis LeVert is a more dynamic scorer than Tim Hardaway Jr. is at this point in their careers. And not to denigrate Tim Hardaway Jr. at all. What he did here was fantastic. But I think that these two guys dial up our offense a little bit more. You also have Chaz Lanier, who we don't know what he is yet, the rookie 37 pick from this year's draft. And that's a guy that could surprise us all. But at this point, the way we sit, if you include Jaden Ivey, in my opinion, we have two more three-point shooters. I don't want to say better necessarily, but we have two more guys that can hit the three right now.
Volume has gone up in terms
and
of
we
volume.
also have a guy like Tim Hardaway Jr. could come in and give you little spurts. Karis LeVert's a 50-point scorer before in this league. This is a guy that can come in and put up and light up for 20-plus points when you need him to. So I really like this move. You're bringing two guys back home, as you previously mentioned. Yeah. So I don't think that they're going to struggle to fit into Michigan. They're not going to Sophie Cunningham Detroit. And so at this point, I absolutely love the way that the Pistons look. But again, this team is so much better just because Jaden Ivey is now healthy. But I love these additions. Anybody that's saying that they're not as good as the team last year, I beg to differ.
Anson, I appreciate that. Maz, I'm going to stop before I ask you the next question. Question will be about losing those two guys and what it does. But you bring up Sophie Cunningham. And ladies and gentlemen, if you aren't familiar with Sophie Cunningham and the comments that she made, you got that peek. Go ahead and lock and load that real quick. Let me show you what Sophie Cunningham said as it relates to the city of Detroit getting a WNBA team.
Because it is helpful. It's way more helpful. You just get more encouragements, more opportunities, and so I get that aspect. But I also think that you want to listen to your players too. Like where do they want to play? Where are they going to get excited to play and draw fans? And I do think that Miami would have been a great one. Like everyone loves Florida. Nashville is an amazing city. Kansas City, amazing opportunity. There's a huge arena downtown that no one's using. And I think that the Women's Soccer League is showing that, like, people draw, and so I'm not so sure what the thought process is there. But at the end of the day, you also want to make sure that you're not expanding our league too fast. I think that's also another thing, that you don't want teams to totally dominate and then have teams that aren't. And so I just think that it's kind of a hard decision-making situation. But man, I don't know how excited people are to be going to Detroit or Cincinnati.
Here, let me start here before I ask the question, because everybody saw this and everybody got hot. I'll tell you what I took with it, and we can go around the room. First and foremost, ma'am, you play in Indiana.
Thank you.
Now,
Right.
Let's stop there. First and foremost, you play for the Indiana Fever. Yeah. No one has been excited to go to Indiana unless you're going to a sports venue. So all the other things that you name, it don't matter. But let me not be so harsh, because Detroit has had a reputation for years upon years upon years. So let me just say to this, I say, she failed the question, but Anson, I want to pose it to you. First thought when you hear this, do you get pissed or do you understand?
Well, in my book, she went from a no-name to my favorite player in the WNBA to an absolute villain in a matter of 6 weeks.
Right.
14 days. 14 days. You are on the map, babe. Well done.
Yeah.
You made it. You're here. You've arrived. Last time I checked, there's 6 championships on 6 championship drive, let's call it. All right. 3 for the Shock, 3 for the Pistons. Now, how many do the Fever and the Pacers have combined?
How long have they been there?
Oh, Maz, are we counting ABA championships? No, we're not.
If you do, it's 3.
What's the ABA?
And by the way, she said we don't want to expand too fast, baby. It's been 13 teams for the last 30 years.
And it's not for another 4 years.
Who's we? She's a player.
And mind you, she said Cincinnati.
Right.
They're not even getting a team.
Well, she meant
Unbelievable.
Cleveland.
This girl, I was looking at her rookie cards, which are way overpriced, by the way. And now you know what? I hope and pray she's the 4th pick in the expansion draft by the Detroit Shock 2.0. And she will get a hell of a welcome.
Detroit Shockers.
Hey.
They need to come over with
That
names
shocking
too. That's
yourself.
something else we can figure out. Maz, what say you? I know, individuals are young. They don't know they don't know what they don't know. But you play in this space, you should know about what Detroit went to the WNBA. So where are you as a man that has 3 daughters?
Riley Green just hit another 3-run home. Listen,
Riley Green with the save, man.
Don't give 2 craps what her or anyone else in that league says.
Fair.
Honestly, I don't care. The WNBA is a loser. It's a losing league. Yeah. The only reason they're expanding, it's because of the girl they hate. And it's Caitlin Clark. Did you guys talk about it yesterday?
We did.
How she finished first in the All-Star ballot.
And 9.
For the freaking fans. And 9th.
Yeah.
For the league. How do you... I don't care. Kelsey Plum, who I used to like.
Kelsey Plum.
Yeah,
Someone wanted to take a picture with her the other day
Shout
at the
out to
game.
Kelsey Plum.
She had a Caitlin Clark jersey on, this person. She said, take that off or
No,
I
she
won't take
said
the picture.
do better.
Do better. So the girl took her jersey off and took a picture with the bitch. Sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Keep going,
Man.
Okay?
Jay
Shout
Tyler,
out.
I don't like that.
You know what?
Shout out
Sophie
Petco.
Cunningham is probably one of the better looking ball players, so
Yes.
I'll give her that.
She fine.
Other than that, I really don't care. I don't care. Thank you for not liking Detroit. Let us have it all to ourselves because I'm telling you right now, it is the best state in the union.
There we go.
The secret best state to live in is this state. Now, my daughter's been in Nashville for a month. She's home now. She tells me this, Dad, I never thought I would miss Michigan like I do.
Yeah,
I felt landlocked in Tennessee because they have no water.
Yep.
Yeah, they got a couple
yeah.
of fake lakes.
Fake
That's
man-made
it.
lakes.
Man-made lakes.
Georgia. Yeah.
She felt landlocked. My 22-year-old daughter is so happy to be back in Michigan. And it speaks to me. I love this place.
Yeah.
I know I bitch about it in the
state,
snow.
man. Top
Yeah.
8
I
state.
bitch about it in the snow. I do.
We all do.
We're not really. We don't even get that much snow anymore.
Nope.
So hate Detroit all you want. All 4 of our teams are downtown together within 2-block walk.
Man, I'll tell you another little secret. We don't get a lot of no snow anymore because of the weather machine. I'm just
Yeah.
throwing it out there.
Let me ask you guys a question.
I'm just throwing
That's another conspiracy. Later, back on conspiracy theories. We're
100%. That weather machine has been kicking. Like New York hasn't seen snow in like 10 years.
Let me
Snow.
let me ask you a question, and I want to hear from the chat too. Michael DeVries with a huge $20 start to the super chat.
see you.
Appreciate you. My question is this: do you actually want that misconception to go away? Do you want the constant underdog to evaporate? Like we've talked about the Lions becoming the hunted all of a sudden, and they're going to go from America's team to villains the moment they win a Super Bowl. I kind of relish being hated and being feared and being misunderstood.
This is what I was going to say after Pete went, but I'm glad you asked it. I'll say it now. I want the narrative to change because it's not going to change who we are in this city.
True
There
that.
you go.
Like, this city's not going to change. We're going to be
True
same gritty individuals. We're going to be the same villainous individuals. We're going to everything that they think we are, that we know we're above, but we'll take the element. We'll still be that individual. We'll be the guys that were raised in the 80s. Anson, you fell in love with the Pistons and the Bad Boys. Man, you
did.
fell like from afar.
Yep.
Like the Fab Five. We will still be that. But I want the reputation to change because we deserve it in the city.
Yeah.
We deserve it from how hard we've worked. All the people and all the corporations, all the boots on ground, all the volunteers, all the spaces. We've worked to change the narrative of what Detroit is, what Detroit can be. It's no longer that dirty city that was on fire in '68. It's no longer the bankrupt city from 2014 or 15, I believe. This is not what it is anymore. It's working together.